So that is $21.38 an hour. That is $1 extra an hour, an extra $40 a week. That is something I think the unions will be somewhat pleased with. We had the ACTU pushing for 5.5%. Sally McManus will hear from in about 15 minutes' time. Importantly, on the flip side of that, we'll hear from small business as well to see what they think of it. There is some suggestion that they couldn't afford it given the headwinds in the economy at the moment as well. But 5.2% increase, and the award increase is 4.6%. Let's go live to Ed Boyd now. He's outside the Reserve Bank of Australia. Ed, the RBA says inflation will likely peak at 7% this year. We've just seen that minimum wage increase. Still, I mean, it's keeping up. The minimum wage is keeping up with the cost of living for now. But if inflation is to go where the RBA governor says it is, it won't be for long, will it?
Well, that's right. I mean, a 5.2% increase to Australia's lowest paid workers. Inflation at the moment, we know headline inflation was at 5.1% at the end of March. The Reserve Bank governor himself last night said inflation is going to get to 7% by the end of this year before it slowly starts to come down into that 2 to 3% target range that they want to see. So people are going to be getting a pay rise, but pretty soon inflation is going to be outstripping the pay increases as well. So it's a good news, this increase in the minimum wage, but I still think inflation is a big problem for our economy. One of the other arguments against pay rises is the more wages go up, the more it adds to inflation in the economy. And this is a really delicate balancing act that the Reserve Bank governor is going to need to juggle over the next few months as inflation starts to get worse, Laura.
What we've got to do is make sure that inflation comes back to 2 to 3%. And it's unclear at the moment how far interest rates will need to go up to get that. I'm confident that inflation will come down over time, but we'll have to have higher interest rates to get that outcome, and how much higher remains to be determined.